There we go. Hello, everybody. I my I had to do an extra minute there. My earbuds went out, and they're still out, so we're going to operate without any earphones tonight. Hello, thank you for clicking on. It is DUFUS After Dark, the American DUFUS channel, and we do thank you for tuning in, clicking on, and hop over and say hi to everybody in the chat real quick before we get started. Nobody's in there yet. Okay. All right. Hi, Mavis. How are you? Hello to everybody out there watching. Appreciate it. And Tuesday night, we do a little more science stuff on Tuesdays, Science Tuesdays. And we have a lot of it tonight. Some of it not so, not necessarily so uplifting, but nonetheless, we give you the information and we let you decide what to do with it. We don't tell you what to think or how to think, just give you things to think about. Hi, Stone Cat, Mission Impossible, Cunning Stunt, Cunning Stunt, and GA from CA going to be on tomorrow night, as always on Wednesdays, always except when I'm suspended. Lori Arnold. So GA and Cunning will be on tomorrow night. What the topic's going to be, I don't know. You never know with those ladies. We may talk pickles. We may talk outdated laws. Who knows? We may just talk music. You just never know. So tune in tomorrow night for sure. Check out Cunning and GA from CA Wednesday nights. And then Thursday, we're going to try to do game night. Mel was going to come on with me, but Mel's sick. Yeah. And so Mel, I just looked over at the chat and saw the pickles. Hi, Julie. Mel's sick. So he's not going to be with us Thursday. I think he's got the same thing I had. I'm kind of getting over it. And evidently he's caught it. So wishing him well. Julie loves a good pickle. All right, pickle. Well, you never know what's going to happen when you get things rolling live. Nothing like the excitement of doing things live, and that's what we're doing. So let's kick it off. Let's do as we always do. Let's start out with our breaking news. Take a look at what the mainstream media is saying is significant. The Covenant school shooter was under care for emotional disorder and hid her guns at home. Audrey Taylor, I believe, was the shooter's name. CNN headline, Mike Pence must testify about conversations he had with Donald Trump leading up to January 6th. That is according to a court order. Los Angeles Times says at least 39 have died in a migrant center fire that is near the U.S.-Mexico border in California. NPR, Vice President Harris wiped away tears as she toured Guyana's Cape Slave Coast Castle. That was earlier today, about 4 hours ago on NPR. The Guardian's headline is the Dominion Company, the makers of many of the electronic voting devices. Dominion wants Fox News hosts and executives to testify at trial. They have a over $1 billion lawsuit against Fox News for claiming their machines were faulty when indeed they were not. CBS News says Adnan Syed's conviction has been reinstated by the Maryland Appeals Court. So his conviction as a serial killer has been reinstated. It was overturned a couple of months back. That's what's going on in the headlines. I got to remember this computer. I can only use one hand on the thing at a time, and I'm used to doing it with two with the older computer out there. So that's the headlines. It looks like CKM Music's in here. Hey, CKM. Blowing kisses at Julie. All right. I got my screen a little small and I couldn't tell what the emoji was there, and raised it up. Okay, blowing some kisses to Julie. And that's a positive thing. You know, it's much better to spread love and kisses and positive vibes than it is negativity and evil and wickedness and vileness. And there's an awful lot of that goes on in the internets, and I like to try to avoid all that here if possible. It's Science Tuesday. We got some more news coming up, but in the meantime, I want to in the beginning, I want to share something that's a little more light, a little more upbeat, and if you've ever been if you've ever been a musician, you know, if you've ever been in the bar business, if you've ever been a truck driver, there are a lot of situations, but many times, especially in the music business, you are off work and it's 2:30, 3:30 in the morning. You're hungry, and there are more options now, but in the past there weren't a lot of options, and truck stops were one of the main option. And we had a favorite truck stop that we would stop at, and I would get the same thing for breakfast. That's what I would eat breakfast at that time. The other guys, you know, somebody eat a steak, somebody eat burgers, whatever. I always had hash browns, 2 eggs over easy, with a half an order of B's and G's, biscuits and gravy. Most people in the United States have an idea what biscuits and gravy are. And if they're good, man, they are good. My ex-wife was from Canada, and I remember the first time she came down here, that the first time I made biscuits and gravy when she came down, sausage gravy. And it was just, it wasn't appealing to her at all to look at. But once she started eating it, you know, so with all that being said, all that kind of build up and lead up, we're going to take a listen to some high schoolers from Britain who are tasting biscuits and gravy for the first time.
Today, we're going to be trying...
Don't taste it like cake.
What is this?
What do you think it is?
A scone.
They're not scones.
They look exactly like scones.
Oh,
It's an American...
biscuit.
Biscuit!
Nailed it.
They're not. Biscuits are so weird.
What do you guys think of when you think of a biscuit?
Crunchy. English biscuits are quite like thin.
Something like that?
Yeah.
So what are you holding right now?
A biscuit. That is a scone. It's a biscuit.
That's a cookie.
It's so soft.
Looks fluffy.
Just like bread.
You halved it like a scone.
I don't know how this can be a biscuit.
That's really good.
It's good.
Americans are lucky. Americans are lucky.
It's like sweet bread, basically. Like a fresh loaf of bread.
You looked surprised, Imran. Was it not what you were expecting?
Not at all.
What were you expecting?
I don't know, something like with a filling inside, probably.
Like a donut?
Yeah.
How does it compare to a scone?
Much better. I'm abandoning my country, would say these are better than scones.
No, that's nice. I like that. 6 out of 10.
Okay.
A solid 6.
I mean, considering in America, you'd almost never just have that by itself. You'd almost always pair it with something.
Oh yeah, I've heard of this, yeah. Gravy. Yeah.
Gravy.
What? Why?
How do they eat scones and gravy?
Now, it's a bit different than the gravy you might
It's
know.
white.
That's not gravy.
That is not gravy.
What is that?
That is not gravy, I'm sorry.
It looks a bit like it has so many vegetables in it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's lumpy.
Oh, lovely.
It's lumpy.
You have to eat all of it.
You don't have to.
Let's call it interesting. Let's call it interesting for now. I'm not gonna make a judgment.
Oh my days.
Call it interesting.
That looks rank. Looks like a chopped up ferret.
The thing is like gravy.
A chopped up ferret.
It does though. Like a little bit.
Chopped up ferret.
A little bit.
Oh my.
It looks like vomit, I can't lie.
It looks like vomit, to be honest.
Okay.
But gravy in England doesn't look like this. Quite runny normally, and it's not as thick as this, and it doesn't have like tons of bits in it.
Well, dig in.
Let's see what you think.
I'm so scared to try this.
Why are you scared?
Well, scones and gravy seems really weird.
Dinner. Cleanup. Check.
Hang on.
No mess, no stress. With Reynolds Kitchens.
Yeah, we'll give you the ad. We'll give you the one ad. Hang on. Crap.
Accept more types of payments with PayPal and reach customers online, in-store, and on the go.
Cashapp. Cashapp.
Oh my god, that's so good.
Wow, that is good.
There's a lot going on in that. Like, I'm baffled. Like, what even is this?
Okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
It's quite nice.
It's not too bad. It looks and smells rank, but it actually doesn't taste too
It
bad.
looks worse than it is. It looks worse, yeah.
I think I like it, but I wouldn't say it's gravy.
So Americans would call that sausage gravy.
Oh, probably I like it. I love sausages.
I think it tastes good with the biscuit and gravy. If I just have the gravy by itself, it would just taste a bit nasty.
But then you wouldn't drink gravy by itself in England either.
I would.
Oh, really? So you're a fan of British gravy. What do you think about American sausage gravy?
This might be better. It makes the scones a lot better. I mean, the biscuit.
So what do you think about the combination?
It's amazing. Makes the biscuit go from a 0 to a 10.
Wow!
They somehow go well together. It seems so weird. Can I have a bit more?
You can, yeah, help yourself.
It's not presented as nicely as I would have hoped.
You know what made this 10 times better? Jam.
You want biscuits and jam.
You know, like that double cream or something.
You're just describing scones.
Sweet things. You just want a cream
want a
and
scone.
jam on it. That's literally
Do you
a
want an
scone.
English cup of tea as well?
I don't mind the taste. For me, it's the wording of everything is wrong.
Yeah.
It's not gravy and it's not a biscuit. If it was called cake with sauce, it would make more sense, wouldn't it? Again, that doesn't sound very nice either.
No.
It probably sounds like an American hearing beans on toast for the first time.
Toad in the hole.
Bangers and mash.
Yeah.
Spotted dick.
What's a dick? Yeah.
Always wanted to say that in school to my headmaster.
Great.
I think this would be exactly the sort of thing that would be for Americans like beans on toast. They wouldn't think of those two things together.
I would say this is better than beans on toast.
Someone call the police.
I wouldn't go that
No,
far.
okay, no, wait. This has like a lot of flavour to it. Beans just have one flavour. Like, come on, it's not that special.
Once you get over the visual, you're like, oh, this is actually really good. It's salty.
It's warming, comforting.
There's a kind of weird buttery scone in the middle.
You guys are really good salesmen.
Although that's a very classic pairing. In the South, you'll often have it with southern fried chicken.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I love my chicken.
You can dip some in the gravy and see what it's like together.
It's gonna be lovely. Absolutely amazing. It's just violating the chicken. I want to taste the chicken, man.
That's great. Right, isn't it?
Wow, so rub. It actually makes me happy. I'll go. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. The biscuits and the gravy on its own, not amazing combo, but the chicken is good with the gravy and the biscuit.
This is good.
Why do they make this? But this is so good. This is actually so good.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's one of the best things I've had with chicken in my life.
Really?
So, it's okay. Big bit of gravy on the chicken. Absolutely lovely.
I don't know how it works. Gravy, sausage, a fake scone, and chicken. And it somehow all works. They're so good.
What do you normally have a biscuit in the UK with?
Cup of tea.
Cup of tea. In the South, they've also developed their own culture for biscuits and tea.
They put gravy in the tea now.
No. You don't have tea with gravy. It's Southern tea.
First thoughts, I thought it was Coke.
Looks like a Coke, doesn't it?
Why is it called if it's tea?
I'm very reluctant.
Is this your first ever iced tea?
Yeah, I know, right? We haven't experienced life yet.
Let's do cheers. That's nice. That's proper nice. Yeah. This one.
Yeah.
This is the winner.
Yeah,
This is
this
better.
is
All of
right.
them.
Iced tea is so good. Oh my days.
really sweet. I really like it.
You know what? I think that's better than hot tea.
Wow.
If I gave this to like my mum and dad, if they didn't like this more, we would have problems.
Oh, wow.
You hear that, Theo's parents?
Okay.
Oh, that's so good. It's more sugary than Coke, but I think it's a lot better.
You're finishing that already.
It's quite nice.
It's
Quite nice.
There's a lot of sugar.
a lot of
A
sugar.
lot of sugar. By the end of this, I'm going to be bouncing off the walls.
Yeah.
Do you have any more of this?
Yeah.
Want more tea? Your teachers are not going to like us later today. How does that compare to the tea and biscuits that you know?
Uncomparable. It's like comparing a Ferrari with a Ford.
Which one's the Ferrari? Really? Wow.
The presentation of it is definitely not to the English standards, but tastes very good. It's so good. Everything works. When I saw this, I think it was going to be quite bad, but after trying it, it was a lot better than it looks.
The gravy surprised me. When it came out, it was like white, chunky, does not look nice. But like when you taste it, it's amazing.
It's been a life-changing experience.
Wow.
I think I could probably finish 2 of these while he finishes that.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, do you have a final word for anyone at home who's watching?
Bring your fake scones and sausage gravy to England. Your food is weird and nice.
Coming from a country where we made beans on toast.
But that works. Beans on toast is good, yeah. I mean, it doesn't seem weird either.
All right, there we go. So, what do you think, chat? Are you a B&G person? Seems like one of your streams is having connection issues. Great, that's good to know. Beaver Tails, quite nice. Okay, so what do you think, chat? B's and G's? You like B's and G's? Hey, Lynn Smith. Lori K. I'm not sure what's going on with the Beaver Tails, but chat on. All right, let's go ahead and get to. They're going to crave that for the rest of their lives. Yeah. My grandma taught my dad how to make sausage gravy. My dad taught me how to make sausage gravy. It's a food group. Hugs right back to you, Lori K. Beaver Tails are Canadian. Okay. All right. I'm gonna leave chat to chat. And let's get into some other stories here, and then we'll get into some science. Let me start with, let's start with Dr. Reed Timmer and the Rolling Fork tornado happened in, it happened, it was up to a mile wide on the ground for, I believe, 70 minutes. Caused some incredible devastation. We're gonna show Reed's clip here, and then we'll talk about it a little bit more and remind everybody the best place, in my opinion, to donate is to the American Red Cross. 90 cents out of every dollar generally goes towards the relief efforts, with 10% going for administrative. So if you're so inclined, the help is definitely needed. Donate to the Red Cross. You can actually specify where you want the money to go. With all that, here's Dr. Reed Timmer.
It's there. It's there. Big tornado. Big wedge. Look at it. Huge wedge.
Transporting Mo to hospital. Mo to the hospital. He was involved in a tornado. These are probably going to be the eventual storms of the next 30 to 60 minutes that produce
their target storm. It is continuing to ramp up each time. It is getting stronger.
Once it gets across the Mississippi River, it is going to plant. That's why we always stress the importance of, if you are in a tornado warning, severe thunderstorm warning, take it seriously. With events like these, it could plant something and it could be a big one.
And keep in mind, we are near the end of March. We are just in the beginning of tornado season normally. We're going to talk about some other things that are potentially impacting the weather, but with tornadoes popping down everywhere from California to Maine, while where you may be, it may be incredibly odd to have a tornado or even to think about a tornado. We are in some odd weather cycles. We're in some odd atmospherics, as we'll be talking about. So I think it's pretty good. Everybody knows a little bit of something about tornadoes, and there's nobody better to learn from than Dr. Reed Timmer.
Oh my gosh. You gotta be kidding. It's probably on the ground, isn't it? It's there. It's there. Big tornado. Big wedge. Look at it. Huge wedge. Huge wedge. Huge wedge due west of us. West southwest. Whoa! Do you see it? It's a mile wide. Take cover immediately. Huge wedge. Wedge tornado coming in.
Window.
Got RFD.
Oh,
big RFD.
Big RFD. Big RFD.
Oh, car
flash
flash right in front of us. Yeah, slow down. Back up. Back it up.
That line's down.
Look up to the right. Look up to the right.
Yeah, major wedge. Big wedge.
How close? Can you
About
see
100
it?
yards.
100
right
yards?
There. About right there.
Can you see it? Oh, there it is. It's 100 yards.
Watch out. It's right there. Power pole's down right here in front of us.
It's not good in that town. This one's empty?
Yeah, it's empty. I'll look at there for a second.
Yes, he's on him. I'll be right back. We need an ambulance. No! No signal! What do we do?
We need to call.
We can't get through. Guys, we need ambulances up here. We got an injury.
Major
damage. Back there. We got somebody trapped up here too. Okay. Hey, they can't get him out of the vehicle. Back there. Hey, get something to cover his head up with. I'll go get some gear. Please come with me. We can get gear. We got first aid. We need to,
You don't have any kind. Well, you got a jacket, but
we need something to cover it up. Possibly transport. It'll be okay. Yeah, keep talking to him. Keep him alert. You're doing good. We're gonna get you guys to the hospital.
I know it hurts, but just try to take a slow, deep breath as you can.
His head is up, but he's okay. We're just getting to the hospital. River Regional.
We're heading to, I guess, the Merritt Hospital in Vicksburg.
Also his girlfriend.
Can you hear me okay?
You doing okay?
You call.
Mo.
And
Mo.
he was in.
Mo is his name. Tell her Mo.
We are transporting your brother to the hospital.
Transporting Mo to the hospital.
Mo to the hospital. He wanted me to give you a call and let you know that we're going to Merritt there in Vicksburg.
Be there in 15 minutes. Rolling Fork needs all the resources they can get. Emergency personnel. Rolling Fork, very bad shape. Major tornado, mile-wide tornado. Every structure's destroyed. And people are just transporting people out of there right now. And we're headed to the Merritt Hospital. We'll be there in 15 minutes. It's really bad. We got you there for 2 minutes. We're here now. We're gonna help you out.
That's my phone.
It's probably.
Here, let me hop out real quick. Here, inch forward a little bit. I want to make sure.
And Rolling Fork needs all the help they can get. I do have a storm chaser friend that was hit directly by the tornado, and he's okay, totally okay. It's still going, a large tornado that's headed up toward Winona now. Still going. There it is. Think it'll be okay? Will William be okay? Is William okay? Yeah. Okay. Chris! Chris! Okay. Hey.
I was in it.
You okay?
The horse air that I was on, and it threw my car about 100 feet, and it landed back on its wheels. All the windows are gone.
Once again, please, if you are so inclined and you want to make sure the money goes to a reputable place, donate to the American Red Cross. That was Dr. Reed Timmer giving us some information there about the Mississippi tornadoes. Basically destroyed an entire town. The town's just gone. Mel and I were going to talk a little bit about this on Thursday because both of us were in a tornado here in Indiana, a similar situation back in 1974. And it literally wiped away the town that he lived in and destroyed the high school that I was in at the time. So while they are seductive, their nature's power and fury at the epitome. Please take it very seriously. If at some point in your area you hear that there is a tornado warning, the difference between a tornado watch and a tornado warning: a tornado watch means conditions are right that a tornado can form. A tornado warning means a tornado has formed and either radar indicated or spotter verified, and that you should take shelter. So take them seriously, because too often too many people don't, and deadly situations can quickly occur. So moving right along on our science trek, we got some other news. Let's just start with let's get some North Korean stuff out of the way here. This comes from Bloomberg. Kim Jong-un has threatened nuclear use anytime as a United States carrier has arrived in South Korea. The U.S. carrier group came in, and we will learn here in just a couple of moments that North Korea also fires missiles. They launched some test missiles as the U.S. aircraft carrier was coming in. So you would like to think that we would be dealing with a little. You'd like to think that we'd be dealing with just a little gnat in North Korea, but unfortunately, that's not quite the situation. They have developed some nuclear capabilities, including some relatively scary nuclear capabilities. North Korea has now successfully tested an unmanned nuclear drone, much like we have talked about over the past year and a half that Russia had, and we were fortunate enough to be able to get some intel. The name of the Russian project, the name of the Russian torpedo is Poseidon, and North Korea now has a similar weapon. They've successfully tested one. And this just gives a little bit of information about what it
Poseidon
actually is.
is one of the most disruptive weapons currently being developed, having a length of 65.6 feet and with a 15 megawatt nuclear powered engine. Poseidon is larger than just being a torpedo and assumes the form of an unmanned underwater vehicle that can be launched from a submarine. It is designed to hit coastal cities with a 2 megaton warhead, around 133 times more powerful than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. It has been designed to evade the coastal defenses on the seafloor. Poseidon has capability to navigate autonomously and may even have the ability to be remotely redirected or have its mission aborted after it is launched. It is believed to have a titanium hull, which allows it to withstand the pressure at extreme depths and could potentially be used as a seabed weapon. It can be pre-positioned on the seabed and activated from there rather than launching it from submarines on demand. Poseidon is estimated to have a top speed of 100 knots, which is much faster than a conventional submarine and much harder to detect. It is listed in Russia's State Armament Program of 2018-2027. The Russian Navy is planning to acquire 30 Poseidon UUVs. The Poseidon is designed to be launched from Belgroat submarine. The drone, shaped like a giant torpedo, is built to carry a nuclear warhead weighing up to 2 megatons and is described by weapons analysts as doomsday nuke. Powered by a small nuclear reactor, Poseidon is believed to have a range of 10,000 kilometers across the world's ocean. If Poseidon is launched from Barents Sea or other waters in Arctic, it can autonomously cross the North Atlantic. If detonated off the eastern coast of United States, the nuclear warhead could create a high tsunami wave in addition to damage caused by the nuclear blast itself. Once a Russian TV anchor has even warned that the explosion of this torpedo near the British coast will cause a giant tsunami wave of up to 500 meters high. He said that the wave could also carry extreme doses of radiation, and after its passage over the Great Britain, leaves a radioactive desert unfit for anything for a long time.
Actually, it's desert, not dessert.
Now, talking about the Belgroat submarine, which will be the launch platform for this UUV.
Okay, the Belgrade submarine is in existence. We have lost tracking of it. We don't know where it's at. This is the submarine that is specifically designed to deploy those unmanned nuclear drones that this video is talking about. Not only does Russia have them, now North Korea does as well. So, as always, just giving you something to think about, and just to give you a little bit more to think about along the same lines, Russian state TV claims that the U.S. is goading the Kremlin into trying to start a nuclear war. Keep in mind, if you haven't heard, I haven't been on for a while. If you haven't heard, Russia has deployed strategic nuclear missiles in Belarus, which neighbors with Poland, which neighbors with the Nordic states, and with Estonia and Latvia. So things are escalating over there, despite the fact that we may not hear a lot about it. As we've talked about the past couple of days, things are escalating in the Middle East. And all of this could impact the United States, whether we are actively involved or not. We could see some major implications. And as always, Just something to be aware of. Now, on almost the total opposite is this story. Again, it's Science Tuesday, so another science story here. Humans will achieve immortality in 7 years, says a futurist. And this came out yesterday at 3:44. This is from the Premier Daily online. And immortality in 7 years. So we've got to make sure we don't destroy the world in the next 7 years, just before immortality may be reached. Take that for what you will. I missed one local story here. I gotta hop over here real quick. Special counsel could use Trump's Waco rally as evidence against him, according to a former FBI official. I didn't watch any of the rally, to be honest with you, but I saw some clips of it, and some of the things he said. Yeah, I can see how they would want to make sure that was presented in court. I've talked on here quite often. If you're heading to court, stay offline. It's absolutely stupid. You're just going to take the chance of incriminating yourself even more. And, I'm not going to tell Donald Trump anything. He's going to do his own thing, as we all know. Hold on a second. I dropped my link. Let me get back in here. Again, thank you all for watching. Thanks for clicking on. Newly declassified files reveal that the FBI called for a, quote, preliminary inquiry into Ivana Trump. Unfortunately, she died before that inquiry could be made. I'm not making any allegations. I'm not saying allegedly. I'm just reporting what's there. You do with it what you feel. Again, we don't tell you what to think or how to think. Just give you things to think about, and it's something to think about that the FBI was getting ready to probe her right before she died. That's pretty coincidental. CBS News has a time-lapse video of a large asteroid as it was very close to Earth this past weekend. And, well, I thought they had the video. Here we go. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Why is this not playing? Why is it not showing? Hang on. It's loading. Okay. Let's see if we can get this in. Anyway, go check that out. I'm a little impatient. Go check that out. CBS News is where you can find it, and they've got a really good kind of animation that shows the line that if it was, it came a lot closer than I think they thought it was going to. And it indeed it bisected the Earth's path around the sun, and it also bisected the moon's path around the Earth. So, as always, something to think about, and something to think about here: the supermassive black hole. Okay. Supermassive black hole. I love that song, by the way. Supermassive black hole may pose threat to Earth. And we're going to take a quick look at it. All right. Let's go here. There we go. And finally, well, we've got two stories here on the magnetic pole shifts because both the North Pole and the South magnetic poles are shifting. As of March 3rd, 2023, this is how far the pole has shifted. The location is, he doesn't have it up on here. Okay.
And the atmosphere on their planets.
Okay. Go to Mavstar Observatory for this particular Maverick Star Reloaded is the name of the website. And Gene at Mavstar tracks the northern pole, and he predicts when it hits this 40-degree mark, as it's designated here, that there will be a rapid switch of the poles. He's the only one that is predicting that. Everybody else is acknowledging that there are pole shifts going on, pole excursions, as they are called in the scientific community, both in the north and the south. The last time this happened was about 12,000 years ago. Humans weren't around, so we don't really know what's going to go on. But we do know the poles are both moving. The hopes is that as it was 12,000 years ago, they will make a rapid reset now that they are both on excursions. They will make a rapid reset, but we just honestly we don't know. And one final piece here. This is Ben Davidson from Suspicious Observers.
Hey folks, as many of you know, we had a level 4 solar storm last week. KP hit 8, and while there was the expected
another one potentially coming this week too, which we'll talk about later.
System glitches, system outages, things like that, to about a 3 to 4x level. There was even more that we have to talk about. So, first, the connection between the sun and tornadoes. This falls into the larger category of things ignored by the mainstream, but even more so than the connection between the sun and El Nino, the sun and cloud cover, the sun and daily temperatures. There is definitively, and a good explanation for it, a connection between the sun and major tornado outbreaks. And it's usually on a 1 to 4 day lag. And that is exactly what we just saw happen with this terrible tornado that hit the southern part of the United States. It was way bigger than expected, way bigger than average. It was on the ground for, I think, 70 minutes, traveled, 60 miles? This was a monster, and it was occurring at the exact same time that energy from the solar storm was making its way down through the atmospheric layers. You know, it starts in the magnetosphere, then it hits the ionosphere, then the mesosphere, stratosphere, and then the troposphere, which is the atmosphere down here at the ground where we all live. Number of papers, and I'm showing them here, some of the better ones over the last couple of years. There are a lot more, and this connection is pretty well understood to be related to the electrical impact of the solar storm on the atmosphere, specifically the global electric circuit, the impact on wind speeds, the impact on cloud electrodynamics, and of overall atmospheric electricity. And so, not wholly unexpected, even though the tornado itself was relatively unexpected in terms of how much more powerful it was, it's not the kind of thing that's unexpected when we get a major solar storm like that. And of course, yesterday, we had that terrible event in Nashville, Tennessee. We have gone over this as well. There are several papers on this, on how, and we're showing right now a little bit from the book Weatherman's Guide to the Sun, the psychological impacts of solar and geomagnetic activity. Everything from reduced cognition to amplified anxiety, stress, panic reactions, fear reactions, emotional instability. These are the kind of things that hit major upticks. Now, most of the studies are about bouts of hospitalizable depression or hospitalizable anxiety attacks, suicide events, other things of that nature. And on the other side of that, the reduced cognitive abilities that strike people when they have these events, and then, of course, the ones on emotional instability. We have seen a couple papers, and here's one about incidents of terrorism on the uptick when we actually have these major impacts from solar activity. And the papers we were just discussing is the explanation for why. It's oftentimes not just enough to have these statistical correlations, but when you have the backup and you know that these solar storms reduce our cognition, they up emotional instability, they up anxiety, our panic response, our fear response. As horrible and unexpected of a thing as what happened yesterday, it is the kind of thing that should be more expected when we get a solar storm like that. Lastly, I want to mention, this was the top story in the morning show, red auroras were seen all the way down to Florida. That hasn't been seen since the 2003 Halloween superstorm, and before that, the 1989 superstorm, which took out power to the whole of Quebec. In 2003, that one, its main systems impacts were in Norway and Sweden.
Okay, I want to make real clear here before he says it, just so you hear it a second time. You're seeing northern lights were visible all the way down to Florida. They were visible in New Mexico. And this normally happens only during a very major solar storm, when massive amounts of solar particles are coming at us from the sun. What happened last week is you saw the same reactions in the skies as far as the northern lights, the aurora borealis, if you will, and the visibility all the way down to Florida. That's incredibly extensive. And it was not a massive storm. It was a moderate storm. So everything we've been talking about the magnetic field potentially weakening rapidly, this gives an indication that just might be happening.
But those two events, the last two times they've seen aurora go that far, they were major solar storms. We're talking X10 and higher solar flares, major impacts from coronal mass ejections. What happened last week, at the end of last week, is in general a minor space weather event, maybe moderate at best. The reason why in our initial analysis that the KP index climbed so high and why it produced such a strong geomagnetic storm was the fact that Earth is more vulnerable at the equinox periods. However, this is not the first time in any of the last sunspot cycles that we have had considerable space weather hit at the equinox times, and they didn't do anything like this. This is absolutely indicative that Earth's magnetic field is continuing to tank. And while the official analysis, followed by paper writing, followed by peer review, has not allowed such a paper to enter the journals as of yet, something tells me it's on its way. Something tells me we've had our geomagnetic jerk, which was expected at some point either in 2022 or 2023, and corresponding with that, another hit to the magnetic field and another acceleration of our loss here in the ongoing geomagnetic excursion, the ongoing magnetic pole shift. What we have in terms of the red aurora being seen at such low latitudes is indicative that Earth's field is definitely in trouble, that all the things we've been talking about for the last several years about the ongoing pole shift and geomagnetic excursion, it's not only right on time, right on perfectly on the cycle, but we are seeing every last little thing we would expect to see. In this case, and I've gone over this several times, we're seeing the expected effects in the magnetic field, in the ionosphere, in the atmosphere. Even in the lithosphere, we are seeing the expected impact society in society, in culture. And, you know, those are a bit more, you have to really know your stuff and connect the dots. You don't have to do that with what just happened. Red Aurora in Florida should take a major geomagnetic storm, equinox or not. And we had basically mild space weather. Anyway.
That's just one example, okay? Up. There we go. Hang on. All right. There we go. All right. So the poles are shifting. We do know that. They're being tracked magnetically. We know the poles are shifting. Is something catastrophic coming? We have no way of saying that. And if it does, we really have no way of totally adequately preparing for anything like that. I imagine our governments are probably prepared to take care of the elite in as many situations as possible. I'm just being realistic here. Just giving you something to think about. When I say enjoy these days, when I say joy, love, laughter, happiness, when I say good time, these things are important. They're incredibly important because there is so much negativity in our world. I've been pointing it out for the last hour solid, okay? Almost everything in the past hour has been, oh my gosh, you know, with the exception of the British kids eating B's and G's, biscuits and gravy. So it's important. It's important to not waste your time. It's important not to waste your time hating. It's important not to waste your time being negative, generating more negative vibrations in the world when we're in a world full of negative vibrations. You know, at the end of the shows, when I say be a light, the world needs more lights. We do. We need so much more positive energy. We need so much more positive influence. We need so much more positive vibrations. And we're only responsible for what we do. So give it some thought, you know, contribute to the positive. Contribute to the positive in your own life. Make sure you take care of yourself. You know, make sure you're looking after yourself first. You can't care for anybody else if you're not here. And I know a lot of caring people are out there. I know this isn't going to be one of those, you know, this isn't going to be one of those 1,000-view local. This is going to be one of those that gets all across the world. And a few people in America see it, but everybody else around the world's watching this because we're kind of dumb over here. Okay. When we hear science or when we hear, golly, am I going to have to think? It's a lot easier to turn it off and let somebody else do our thinking for us. I don't care about the numbers. Tuesday nights are about information, legitimate science kind of stuff, totally unfiltered by either any network or influences of governments, just showing you the best of what I find. And I thank you, and I respect you, and I appreciate you for watching this and for wanting to get some information. And I hope you make it positive. I love y'all. Thank you all for being here. Lisa Hurley. Hi, Lisa. Cunning. I'm not sure who else is in here. I just about ended it without saying hey to everybody. Al Munson, the one and only Al Munson. Rose J, thank you for being here. Again, CKM Music. Hey, you never know when there might be a collaboration coming out between CKM Music and I don't know if you call it a collaboration because I wrote the lyrics and CKM is going to probably put the music together. His daughter is a 3-octave vocalist that's going to interpret the words. I have a vision that the world is not going to end, that our song's going to end up coming out probably early summer, late summer. And people are going to love the song. They're going to love the voice, the words, the music. It's going to be one of those magical things that clicks together. And next February, she's going to be singing at the Super Bowl, and CKM and I will be sitting there with Jeff Ellis. So, sorry, I had to end with a gag. What can I say? All the way up until sitting there with Jeff Ellis, all that vision was beautiful. And nothing wrong with sitting with Jeff Ellis, except he doesn't, you know the lore. Sheeple folk. Okay, that's cool. I get the name. Echo. Who else we got in here? CKM giving you a laugh. S. Thank you for being. Hey, there's Summer. Summer, I'm serious now. I'm starting to get to feel better. I am coming to Louisville. I'm going to do a live broadcast. I'm going to do an IRL in Louisville. And I hope you'll be available at least for some of the time when I'm down there. And I just want to take people to all the sites, all the, everything that we saw over that time. Just do a little walking tour and talking about things. So hit me up, Summer. We'll do that. 100%. Yeah. Again, thank you all for being here. I think I saw Curtis Caldwell in there. Curtis, how are you? Yep, Curtis Caldwell. Good to see you, Cunning says, so I'm sure he's in here. Namaste. Shalom. Shalom. Assalamu alaikum. Blessings be upon you from the Most High, His Son, Jesus the Christ, the Holy Spirit. Positive vibrations. Much, much love. Peace. It is a dark world. Do try to be a light. Thank you for watching. Thank you for clicking on. We'll be here tomorrow night at 9. Do it all over again. I'm not sure who's on afterwards here, if anybody is, but I'm sure somebody will pop up and I might see you on the inner tubes later on. Damnation Drive-In tomorrow night at 8 p.m. as far as we know. I'm starting at 9. They'll still be going. So, you can watch me later on replay if you're over at Damnation. And then we'll be on Thursday night at 9 too also. I may have another special guest. I don't know. We'll see. Melvis isn't feeling good, so he's not going to be on with me Thursday, I doubt. We'll do something fun on Thursday, as we always do. Probably have some game night or something. And until then, tomorrow night, the one and only pair, the two of the most fabulous women on the internet, GA from CA and Cunningston will be here at 9 o'clock. I hope you'll be there. It's a dark